Hey everybody, this is Chris, and I have with me Josh from Parks and Tech and Chad B. And we decided to do this show tonight just to kind of stay at home, the stay home movement. So
What's up?
as creators, we have kind of stayed away from doing any outdoor stuff on our channel. Where'd Chad go?
I'm not sure.
Am I
Oh,
back?
there he's back.
Do you
He's
have
back.
do you have a
Yeah,
delay
I
or
just,
anything, Chad?
I
Chad's
guess I
on the
do.
new
I'm not
camera.
sure. Let me. Yeah,
Yeah, you're delayed.
yeah, I'm slight delay. Yeah, I'm down in my basement, so it's going to be a delay. Plus on
You don't think
Wi-Fi
it?
and
Do you
everything. So
do you think it's the new camera?
no, it's not.
Okay.
Not with the. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, on all of our channels, we haven't done any of the outdoor activities and the normal stuff that you're used to seeing with us, like the reviews and flight testing and things like that we all do. Um, and we're going to continue to do that as long as this COVID-19 is a big deal, where it's best just to stay home and avoid contact. And for me, anyhow, I don't know with you guys, but for me, it's not just social distancing. It doesn't hurt, in my opinion, does not hurt to be aggressive. Just, the word I want to say, but I'm just going to say stay home. um, I really like the stay F home that everybody's been doing, but stay home. And if you have to work like I do, go to work, go home. The only places I
Mhm.
go are my job and home, and get gas for my vehicle. Now, you'll notice I'm in a different location today, and that's where it's even more so with me that people just stay home, because you have to think of other people's situation, and how bad this virus affects them. For me, it's my mother having cancer, and making the simple decision, what should be a simple decision, to come and visit her and take care of her. It turns into a big battle. Last week I was planning on coming out, and it turned out to be a big battle in my head. What's the right thing to do? And I chose not to come because my daughter was already here. So now I'm kind of doing a handoff with my daughter, and she's going to go back home to Ohio, and I'm here, and then my boys will be coming next week. But so it's things like that with the stay at home that I want to stress. It's just you've got people that are sick that cannot. And this does not just it doesn't discriminate. This virus, it will go after anybody. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are. It goes after anybody, and it's a big deal. So it's all, for me, stay at home, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, sanitize, and just avoid contact at all costs. You've got some creators that feel like it's okay to go out and fly in parks and things like that. From what I see, parks are flooded, and I don't care what governors say or anything like that. It's okay for you to go out in public. What's it hurt not to? You can still get your exercise at home. You can still have a good life at home. You don't need to be running out to rush to get content on your channel or anything like that. So I think we're all in agreement. And as far as the three of us with our channels, we're just going to continue to do all our indoor activity videos, and do more live events like this. So that's kind of what this whole live event tonight is. Its theme is stay home. Hopefully, there's a bunch of you stir crazy people in the chat, and you need to just get some energy out. Go for it. Have a blast in the chat. Keep it all friendly. Enjoy the conversations. We're going to try to interact more with you. We've got a few surprises hopefully here for you, and a few new things to talk about in the hobby, and that would be one of them would be the FIMI X8 SE 2020 edition. And with that, I'm going to hand off to Chad, and he just recently put out a video for the FIMI X8 SE. So we're going to say he opened the gates to the FIMI X8 SE 2020.
He sure did.
And put out a good informative video on it, and just went off of what he could, spec by spec, off the website, and some of the information through Banggood, and some of the new things with that. So we'll let Chad introduce himself, give his little intro, and you can touch base, just that you'll be talking about the FIMI X8 SE 2020 tonight.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, so welcome everybody. I'm glad everyone can join us tonight. It should be a good one tonight, so just stick around as long as you can, and we'll have a good time. Hey, so I did this video on the FIMI X8 SE. I mean, if you watch the video, I learned it from someone who commented in my video, and I just wanted to get that information out. It does have some interesting specs. It pretty much looks like the same drone, but it does have a few upgrades, which, I mean, we can go over in a minute. But I mean, the question is I mean, is it worth buying? I know, who was it? Daniel, he's in here right now. Daniel, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Daniel.
I'm gonna run with Tormina.
Yeah, that's what I would have said, but I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I butcher their name, so I'll be the butcher. Tormina. I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is. I know he already has a FIMI X8, but he said he already ordered it, ordered the 2020 version. So,
Nice.
I mean, Daniel, if you can confirm that, yeah, let us know. But we're going to go over some of the specs, and also we're going to go over some of the details about that FIMI Care package that they're offering, and probably offer you some more detail about that. So I don't know where you want to take it from here, Chris, if you want to go into that or what, or Josh, I think
we'll let Josh,
hand it over to you, Josh.
We'll let Josh do his little intro in, and then we'll take it from there.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. And I'm really happy, and really happy to be here with you guys tonight and to be able to talk about some of the things that we have planned, and also too that are unplanned. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. There's a lot of people in the chat already, which is great. So welcome to everyone, and really appreciate you guys, taking the time out of your day to come and hang out with us on a Friday night. Hope that everybody's safe and sound and healthy as well. So if you have any questions about anything, really, it could be drone related, it could be life related, it could be really just about anything. We're here to talk about it and try to accommodate everyone. So we definitely want to hear from you in the chat, and I'll be keeping a close eye on it as well to make sure we don't miss anything. So again, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us, and you're in for a real treat tonight.
All right. Thank you, Josh. I do want to go back to Daniel, because he did say yes, ordered, and interested in the upgrades. I didn't know you could order it. I thought you could just get notified of its availability.
If you actually if you change it, go ahead. I'll let you take it, Chad.
No, go ahead. You started.
No, it's okay.
Ahead, man.
All right. So yeah, I found out if you get it with FIMI Care for the 415 or whatever it said on there, then you have to alert me when it's available. But if you actually change that just without FIMI Care, it becomes $399, and you can pre-order it right then and there.
Okay.
So with the FIMI Care, you have to wait, but if not, then you can pre-order it right then and there without the FIMI Care.
And that's pretty interesting, because I mean the FIMI Care is a completely new platform for them, or something new for them. So I wonder why that would delay anything in that, unless they're trying to. I don't know. I really couldn't think of a reason why that would delay it.
Well,
And
according to the Q&A,
the other question would be is if you don't get it, can you get it within a time period?
Yeah, I believe you can get it after your purchase with proof of purchase. I believe, hopefully that's the case. Right now, based on the Q&A that I actually read, they have it available in Spain only right now. Or I don't know if they have it available in Spain, but if you were to purchase it, you would have to send it to Spain or something. So they don't have it available anywhere else.
Yeah, and then you run into shipping issues with everything that's going on right now, where you wouldn't probably be able to get it anyhow. And that's the other thing too, is okay, the release I think was May, or the delivery point was about May. Was it?
May 15th, I think I saw in the chat. Daniel T.
Yeah, and that's processing.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see that thing till early as July, at least in the States. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Expected to ship after May 15th, 2020.
Okay. So, yeah, with all that's going on, there's going to be one thing after another that a lot of things that we end up don't thinking about until they take place. But, one thing after the other that's going to cause delays, at least for us here in the States, I think, and some other countries as well. So, those pre-orders and assumed delivery dates are usually something you can just kind of take lightly. Goes back to my click and forget. Just if you want it, you want to buy it, click and forget it, and just it'll show up one day and you'll be happy. But not panic and say, well, they said May, and start messaging them constantly and freaking out and canceling your order and going through another buyer. Just commit to the purchase, click and forget. That's what this is going to be, just like everything else, I imagine. So staying on the topic of the FIMI X8 SE, before we go into some of the changes and specs, you guys in the chat, besides one who's already made the purchase, who's jumping, who's ready for the FIMI X8 SE 2020? Like, who wants to just pull that trigger? Besides Daniel, who wants to just pull that trigger right now? Not me.
No.
I mean, it's got my attention, but I'm not. I'm not jumping.
No.
I'm going to wait on this one myself.
I like the range.
Yeah, range is a big. Yeah, range is a big bite factor for me. But I don't see anybody like really
pretty sturdy.
Chad, Daniel T blames Daniel T blames you for your review.
Oh, really?
That's why he jumped on it, because of your review.
Yeah. So
well, then here's the question: did you provide a link, Chad?
No, I didn't provide a link. I did say in the video that you could search it within Banggood and just pull it up. And I mean, you can.
I was going to say you could have the first sale.
Oh yeah, but for some reason, they're not providing any affiliate links for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You haven't done a link.
I tried to pull up.
You haven't done link generator on your own yet.
No, I'm kind of, I don't know how to do that, so I might have to ask you how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to definitely get you a link generator going, and Banggood's not none of these affiliates are the greatest at really getting you started as a new affiliate. So, but yeah, I can help you out with that and get you to start popping those links, and then other people can click on your links and help you out. But
Okay, appreciate that.
based off of that question and no previous big conversations about it or chat about it in the group or in the chat, I don't think it's going to be a big wow factor excitement. But we'll get further into that and why after we go over, and we're going to put the pressure on you, Chad. We'll get further into that
I'm
and
sorry.
why after we go over.
Sorry.
Ron's in the house.
I'm sorry. I was trying to get the link so I can forward to my wife. She wanted to know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
But whenever you're ready, Chad, I would like to put you in the hot seat. And since you put out the video and let you just go over the specs kind of between the two and some of the changes. And then when you're done with that, Josh and I can chime in and discuss some points that might have interested us out of what you say and discuss them further.
Okay. Do you mind if I share my screen real quick?
Go for it. It's all yours.
So let's see here. All right, I think you need to approve it though.
Yeah, I think you have to too.
Is it going to do that on the
sure.
on the YouTube screen or on the StreamYard?
Probably on StreamYard.
It's going to do on StreamYard, yeah. Entire screen application. Let's see here. You got it?
Nothing.
Nothing? I mean, you have to approve it, I believe.
Nothing's come up though that says.
Oh, okay, hold on.
I know you can do it because I've seen others do it, but nothing's come up and alerted me and said, "Hey, can you share it?"
Okay.
I'm looking.
All right.
Yeah, there's nothing.
You got it? Okay.
Well, there it is. Chad B screen.
Okay, you got it. All right. Sorry, that was my fault.
Might be your delay. There you go.
Yeah.
There it is.
All righty. All right. Is that better?
Mike's bad.
My mic's bad? Really?
Oh, now we can hear it.
Now it's good.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, let's start with the obvious here. It says that we get up to, you can get 8 kilometers, of course, of FPV. Now, one of the questions I had with that is if you own a FIMI X8 already, you know that the signal is like kind of spotty, like even in close distances. I wonder if it's going to be a clear signal, like say like the Xeno 2. The Xeno 2, it has fairly good signal and fairly good image on FPV, even further out, maybe like 1,000 meters or something like that. You still get a nice crisp FPV. But with the FIMI, I know that as you're flying, if you look at that gauge, the FPV signal gauge, it kind of fluctuates back and forth all the time, from red to yellow to to white or something like that. But I wonder if the stability of the FPV signal will improve. What do you think? Still there?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was muted.
Say that again.
Oh, okay.
If they
did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard what you said, and I was talking and forgot that I was muted. But
oh, okay.
I don't have my shit show shirt on today, so I wore that. But going. This is my opinion. Obviously, I think it's obvious. Is going from, what was it? It was 5 clicks, right?
Yeah.
5 kilometers. Yep.
Okay, so going from that to 8, they've definitely changed something within the transmission. I'm going to say some hardware within the transmission, along with obvious it's something that puts out a higher signal. But then not only that, one of the features which you'll probably get to is it's got the HDR feature. So there is a stronger transmission there between the types of transmission it provides. But yeah, I'm going to say that there's a hardware change there, and whether or not it delivers is one thing, because I know to get the 5 kilometers on the FIMI X8 SE, it's almost got to be the perfect situation where you're flying. It's
and with maybe parabolic dishes, because I flew out at the boardwalk in the Absolute Creek, and I didn't get it. I only got out to maybe 4.8 kilometers with the parabolic dishes. So yeah, it has to be. I'm pretty sure it has to be perfect conditions. I know NEABSCO is almost perfect because you have a clear line of sight. Other than that, train trestle there. So, but everything else is like a clear line of sight. But yeah, hopefully they can improve the FPV signal, the stability of it.
I think we can count on something better than what we have right now with the FIMI X8 SE, with them making that claim to that range. Now they've made the claim for 5 kilometers, and sure, you can do it, and some do it beyond. But like I said, in the perfect situation, like you said, Neabsco Creek is definitely one of those situations where I can go out there and fly, and I know I'm going to go that far, like I did the day you were with me, Chad. The Xeno 2. It is one of those perfect situation areas. So that's where it'll be good. But what I would really love to see is that it performs better in more of your normal areas where you're going to be flying that aren't those perfect situations. Of course, anything that's going to give you an obstacle between you and the quad is going to mess you up. But the one thing I noticed with the FIMI X8 SE, just like the Paradenofi and others, I can have that perfect line of sight, but it just loves that interference and stuff that it's sucking up, and that's where you get your bad FPV performance and lack of signal and forced return to home and all that. So that would be something that I would hope would improve with them making that claim.
Yeah,
you can only hope.
Yeah. So I'm not a camera guy, and I'm not too sure about the HDR in the video, and that's one of the upgrades here that they put in the 4K, UHD. I'm sorry, 4K UHD. Now, from my understanding, the UHD will perform better in low light. Is that correct?
Yes. Ultra high definition, and that is one of the things they're boasting on this is more light. I'm no camera guy either, and Josh, jump it right over top of me if you can say something further on it. But one of the things which you'll get to in those specs is that aperture lets in more light. So that change might take in play mixing for the HDR, one of the settings, because none of the camera settings are huge setting changes, but they may have tweaked everything enough to make it to where it's ultra high definition in their book.
It's a slightly bigger sensor too in there. You can see there ever so slight, but the bigger the sensor, the more light and the more basically the more light that thing can capture. So therefore, you're going to be able to get lower light. Lower light images are going to turn out a lot better. Things like that, a little crisper, clearer, things like that as well, versus a tinier sensor.
And that's nice. Well, and I know Chris, you were mentioning this yeah, you did mention more light. So yeah, the footage is always dark, and the FIMI now, the camera on the current FIMI X8 is always dark, and this could be another selling point for it. You know, if you can get better video out of it, maybe people will want to buy it more or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm on the fence. I'll decide maybe in another couple weeks. I'll let it go for a couple weeks and see. Um, but moving on to uh, other items now. I think going back up here, up in the title, it does offer, you know, 2 extra minutes on a flight time, and I believe it's the same battery, so maybe it has something to do with the current weight. I didn't really see that. Um, if they maybe lightened it a little bit.
Yes.
Did anybody notice that?
If you look at the specs, it's just grams lighter. Between the 2020 is grams lighter. I forgot how many, but it's a tad lighter than the FIMI X8, the original FIMI X8. I guess we'll start having to call that. I guess we'll have to start calling that the X8 SE 2018.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tad bit lighter there. From everything I know and seen from just poking around everywhere, the first thing I was looking at after looking at camera specs was camera specs, and battery specs. And the battery specs are all the same. It's the same battery. It's the same body. Everything is the same. So it's just a slightly lighter quad, supposedly to give us this type of flight time, that tiny increment of flight time, which which that's nothing that even catches my attention at all. You can add a minute, you can add 2 minutes or 3 minutes. None of that's going to matter to me.
Yeah. And I don't know, in real world situations, I'm pretty sure it'll be around the same time anyway. It's just like 2 minutes. Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
I agree.
So it may help on the range test when you're coming in hot with low battery, and you need that extra 2% to get it home. But other than that,
Charles in the chat, Charles Toast says 25 grams of weight savings alone should give you just over 1 minute extra flight time. So, like, you know, flight time is golden. I mean, you get a few extra minutes, it's a big deal in some cases, but it's just not one of those things where if you tell me it's a guaranteed 25 minutes, because we all know that whatever they say is never what it is. But if it was guaranteed 25 minutes, and then a new one comes out and says guaranteed 28 minutes, that would not make me jump over the fence faster for it. It's more in the hardware and camera and things like that would make me jump at it.
Okay. Yeah, and also you mentioned Charles. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I was just going to say I just wanted to rewind real quick, and I misread that, and I want to thank Charles Toast for pointing something out to me. What I said before was wrong. That's actually a smaller sensor in the 2020 than it is the 2018 by just a little bit. I did misread that, so thank you, Charles, for pointing that out.
Yeah, and I also want to give a shout out to Charles because he is the viewer that I mentioned in my video that put me on to this, and he did mention or did leave a comment in my in the video saying that it was actually a smaller sensor. Sorry, Josh, I should have said something. But yeah, shout out to Charles Toast.
Yeah, and he's actually somebody that is at least fairly new to my eye in the chat.
Yeah.
So thank you, Charles, and welcome. And if you have been in any of my chats before, my live videos before chatting, I apologize. But as far as I'm concerned, this is my first time seeing you. But thank you very much for all that information. Real quick, I want to just give a shout out to Drone Syndrome. He had a hard time getting notifications and stuff, so He did actually make a comment in one of my past lives saying that I always miss these. Why don't I get notified? So I told him to click the all button on notifications, and he's actually in the chat. So hey, drone syndrome and Little Mountain Life. I think there was something you had said that I wanted to also touch base on. I don't recall. But yeah, I'll go off his last comment here. Little Mountain Life says, sorry to get a little off track, but everyone will compare the Xeno 2. What's the max? What's the max time everyone is getting on their Xeno 2 battery? So he does make a good point there, because it's already, that's from the minute Xeno 2 came out, that's been the bird to compare it to, is the FIMI X8 SE. And him making that comment is something that once you're done going over your specs, whenever you're done, Chad, that I'm going to touch base a little more on his comment there, because there's lots you can say between the comparison between the two, and that question of which one should I get. So
okay, yeah. So just moving on to just moving on to the price. No, actually, I'm sorry. Not the price. The other specs. I didn't really see any more differences in the specs. Other than that, Josh already talked about that, about the 30-meter optical flow positioning. That I mean, that's very. I guess it's useful when you're hovering at 30 meters above ground and don't have any signal or something like that, or the ADI mode kicks in. I guess that's useful. But other than that, I didn't really see any other differences. I'm not sure if you have or not. But the big thing is, well, one of the big things is the FIMI care, and we can touch on that a little later, get more detail about that. But that's interesting, because if it's anything like the DJI refresh package, this is definitely be something good to purchase. For $15, and it's only for, I believe it's only for a year though. You have a limit to 2 replacements in 1 year, and I think after 1 year, I believe that's it. I'm not sure. I have to look into the details that I have.
Definitely a bonus feature, that buying that package for, especially for newbies.
Yeah.
People making mistakes and learning the hard way. If you have that care, that's going to be golden right there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's it. I don't know if you guys notice anything else, or if you want to talk about anything else on the specs. That was it for me.
Other than the fact that they went a little crazy with the red, they put a ton of red in there when it actually is an exact match to the previous FIMI X8. But they're trying to get you to just stay looking to the left and thinking that these are all upgrades. But if you go and take out all those reds, there is a guaranteed a lot less that has been upgraded. It's not a lot. It really focuses down to the camera and range. You're not going to have any difference in this controller. You got the same battery. Your hardware is where all the change is. It's made a little bit lighter. We've seen. You've got a little extra features because of the battery changes, like the HDR feature. Still no 60 frames per second, but I'm just going to say myself, I really don't care about 60 frames per second at all. I really don't care about 4K 30 frames per second. I'm fine in 2K. But for like the Xeno 2, I'm doing everything in 4K 60 frames per second, just because that's the big word on the street, that they sell it out saying 4K 60 frames per second. that's what everybody wants to see in your videos. So that's the only real reason I use it. But it was more shutter speed was the one. I don't know if you hit that one. I think it was more. It was a higher shutter speed on it. I've just got some little scribbled notes. I'm not looking at the actual spec.
Okay.
But it's all in. A majority of it is in camera, and then I think there was a difference in the. Wasn't there a difference in the file format or something?
Let's see here.
There was something else, and this is an area, I just remembered it was an area where I definitely lack.
Yeah, so
it might have had to do with editing or something. I don't recall.
So yeah, I think I just highlighted it. Well, it accepts, I guess you can get a 256 gig card in there now instead of 64.
Same video format, MP4s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is.
I don't know what it was.
One.
I don't know what it was. Like when you're editing video or uploading video, and you have the option to do the couple different formats. It's like I forgot what it. Oh! Thank you, Charles Toast. Come on, Chris. Excellent. He's got it.
Oh, what was it?
That's what it was. That's where I don't dabble with that. I've seen it. And if I'm correct, Charles, that is most used when you're for editing purposes or uploading purposes, correct? I'm glad he's paying attention.
Yeah.
He seems to be our camera guy here in the chat.
Yeah. I can't really see
for sure.
And we definitely need that. At least I do.
I do too. I'm not.
What is while Charles pops up and corrects us, what is Ram talking about here? Hey QC, when are you going to sell me that light? My 501 light. I'm not selling that to anybody. And I'm not making any more to sell. Not yet anyhow. It wasn't as fun to make as I thought it would be.
There you go.
And I want to point out real quick too, someone else in the chat, and give me 1 second. I want to make sure I give this person credit. Kevin Payne also mentioned that the video resolution is actually a little bit different on the 2.7K versus the old one. And while you were up there on the specs there, it is different for sure.
It's much higher.
Very good catch.
Doesn't have a much higher frames per second option.
I think it's just a little bit in terms of the resolution.
The resolution right here.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not
so thank you for that, Kevin.
Yeah, the whole thing. Nice.
Yeah, Nick Fountain. I already stated I need my shit show shirt on, and I actually have it with me. I just don't have it on. It's actually almost in reach. But yeah, I think we've all made it clear that cameras are out of our range. I know enough to play with them and get them to where I can get a good picture based on what I'm seeing from past videos and stuff, and then go back and say, hey, I'm going to change this a little bit. I do the same thing that a lot of people do. You go look on YouTube and see who's good with cameras. And one person I turn to that seems to usually have the content out for camera stuff that I trust is Ron Brown. I like his camera quality in his videos. He's done some beautiful video with the Xeno 2, and Ron Brown is one that will share his information with you, lead you in the right direction, and help improve your camera skills. So I'm not a big camera guy, and I just take little notes from people like him, and that's where I go with it. But overall, out of the FIMI X8 SE 2020, all I really want to see is the brighter image, because Your image is always darker, and you have that outer ring of darkness in your video. And of course, things like, which, we're following in the Xeno 2 is our horizon tilt. I don't know why that's such a battle for these guys, but that's a big problem. What do you have on there now?
Reddit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I was sharing the screen. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
Are you done with the screen?
Yeah, I'm done.
I was curious.
That's about it. That's all I wanted to touch on.
Well, at least
good thing I wasn't.
At least that's the only site you were on. Folks, this broadcast is over permanently.
All right. Yeah, that's about it, man.
Okay, so
let me stop sharing here.
So then the question for the people in chat and for you guys as well is, is this and Chad, you and I had this discussion the other yesterday on my drive down here when we were talking on the phone, and you mentioned it in your video. So I really don't need to ask you, but let's ask Josh. But most importantly, what the chat thinks about it is this another Xeno Pro with such minor changes? Is this a Xeno Pro just to kind of quickly do what they can in a lazy fashion to get it up closer to the Xeno 2 on paper, when in reality, we might end up with something that's, just kind of that little upgrade like the Xeno to the Xeno Pro. And then the big fear is, after you purchase it 3 months later, will we have a holy cow FIMI X8 SE?
At least for me, I mean, anything's possible, in regards to that. I think the biggest thing for me with that release anyhow, and what gives them kind of credit in my eyes for at least trying, is that they made it the same price. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that, it's $399, without the the FIMI Care. Looked like it was $415 with the FIMI Care. Also, it shipped directly from the U.S. warehouse, so for everybody in the United States, we shouldn't have to wait very long to get it,
right.
which I also think was pretty cool. And do you guys remember what the original FIMI cost? I want to say that was $499 or something like that.
It was up in the
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was up in the 400s. Yeah. I jumped in on the very early pre-order on that, and you know what? I can't remember. It was close to 500. Yes.
And I thought so. And the fact that they are making this one better, and they're really not changing too much. I mean, yeah, they're making it a little bit better in terms of range and a better camera quality and so forth. But the fact that they're trying to make something better and they're making it cheaper, I think it's a pretty cool move. In my eyes, and I think that for me, it's probably something I might skip on. I don't know, but I think I might pass on this one, at least personally. But that's just me. I do have the FIMI X8 SE, and I think it's a great quad for sure. For somebody that doesn't have one, that was thinking about it, I would push the buy button in a heartbeat.
Yeah, definitely.
Without question.
Yeah, they easily could have come out with this and up that price even more, and still I think grabbed the same attention, because that leads to my next question. The audience I think it's going to grab is, as YouTube channels, the number one question you're seeing when you're doing your Xeno 2 content. Sorry, Chad, I know it's a sensitive topic, but
it's okay.
When you're doing your Xeno 2 content, the big question you're seeing is FIMI X8 SE or Xeno 2. Which one do you recommend? They flat out just want you to say, buy this one or buy that one. I'm steering clear of that question and just saying, I have said in certain, if they give me certain situations, I have said, put the two in front of me right now, giving the current situations, I'll jump on that FIMI X8 over the Xeno 2. So that the big thing is for new people buying that ask this question. I think this is where these type of changes, if they're successful, I think this might be the one thing that will put those people that were on the fence on the other side, to where they'll say, you know what, I think FIMI just got my attention even more. I'm going to steer clear of the Xeno 2 and go for the FIMI X8 SE. And I'm sure that might tick off a lot of Xeno 2 owners, but they're delivering us a lot of problems right now. And I know FIMI does as well. Majority of your quads do, but I think we're at a point right now where we're getting a little bit more than we bargained for on the Xeno 2 in a negative form. Mainly the silly FPV cable. So I don't know if people disagree with me in the chat, if you guys disagree with me, but I think newcomers that are asking that question are going to look a little more at the FIMI X8 SE and maybe not even have to ask that question because they just brought some more excitement and boost in conversation you'll see in Facebook groups and stuff about it.
And Chris, I mean, I got to say, I agree with you completely on that, Chris. I've gotten a couple of questions regarding, you know, the FIMI X8 versus the Xeno 2. Which one would you get? And my answer is honestly the same for every person. It really depends. If you tell me right this second, if you have the money right this second, I would say buy the FIMI X8 SE. Now I would probably say go for this one. But if you can wait and you don't need something right now, and you can wait a little bit, then I would wait and see what becomes of the Xeno 2. Because not only is it going to hopefully get better, we hope, but it should probably drop in price too. So it just depends on when you need it. If you need it right now, and you need something now to you know, fill a void of some sort, something like that, then I'd go with the FIMI X8. But now with this news, you know, I'd probably say jump on this. Yeah, for sure. So I agree.
Yeah, I think.
But Chad, you're a perfect example on the negative side. How long now? How long have you been waiting for your cable? And then that whole shipping screw up they made, where they completely forgot, and then say, "Oh, sorry, I passed it on, but they didn't see it, and now it's shipping how many weeks later?" You know?
Yeah, it's like a month later. Yeah, my FIMI went dark February 25th. That's one of those dates that you'll remember forever. But yeah, when did your FIMI go dark? But I mean, not FIMI, I'm sorry. When did your Xeno 2 go dark? But yeah, I've been waiting for a while. AliExpress, actually, I ordered my cable from, or like ordered 2 cables from AliExpress, and they shipped out really quickly. Now, you know, it's coming from China and all this stuff with the corona and customs and all that stuff. You know, of course, it's going to take a little while, but that shipped out last week or a week and a half ago, and hopefully I can get that sooner than I get the ones from Hudson. So, but yeah, FIMI has the perfect opportunity here to like slide in, like they can slide in a ham sandwich and call it, you know what I'm saying? They can slide in a ham sandwich and someone will bite it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, you know, coming from the Xeno 2, you know, with all the mishaps and everything with it, you know, a lot of people are just pissed off, and a lot of people are turned away from it. This is a perfect opportunity for FIMI to actually, you know, move in. I think my theory, I think that this may be something like the Xeno and Xeno Pro situation, where they may just come out with something a little later. I think they just put something out now because Xeno is having all these problems. I think they just put something out now so people can bite on it, and then maybe, hopefully, they can come out with like maybe a FIMI X8 2 or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's what I'm just thinking.
yeah, Xeno 2 definitely stole their thunder, and this very well could be. This very well simply could be something where let's whip up something real quick that puts us closer in specs, or does what it's doing right now in these Facebook groups where it's just generating a big buzz, and mentally, psychologically, you're hearing FIMI X8 SE, FIMI X8 SE, you're reading stuff, everybody kind of sees what they want to see and goes click on that button and buys. So I mean, this could be some little thing they kicked up to try to boost the sales, especially right now where the economy is.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Just give me a second, all right? I'll be right back.
All righty. But kind of turn to the chat a little bit here real quick. And one thing I want to do with the chat is I do want to extend an invitation to anybody, and this isn't going to be everybody that says yes, although I don't think we'll have a flood of them, but anybody that would like to join us and get yourself up on here and talk about your Xeno 2 or what you think about the FIMI X8 SE 2020. I personally would like to see our very informative cameraman want to invite Charles Toast. So Charles, if you would like to jump on here and you can kind of set us straight with some camera specs and stuff, I can send you a link and you can jump in here. But that also goes to anybody else in the chat. So anybody in chat want to jump in here, you don't have to stay long. You can just be up here for a couple minutes and then bounce right out and get your airtime, plug your channel, whatever you want to do. So, and like I thought, I didn't really think anybody was going to jump and bite on that.
I was staring at the chat like I just got into a
there's a
zone
few
there for a second, like waiting, like, come on, where's the yes?
There's a few that I know that would come on here, but maybe they're just not in a situation that they can get on with us now. So if I would have said that maybe in the very beginning of the show, hey, anytime throughout the show, if you want to jump on, you can be a part of the show. We might have had people that ran out to get their camera ready or their phone ready or earbud or whatever.
Little Mountain Life's in.
Yes, yeah, he's been in here for a little while. Oh, and I thought
he wants to jump in.
Yeah, let's bring him in. He's
fun.
Only if he's gonna sing.
Oh, he's a very good singer.
Yeah, Little Mountain Life, you got to sing. Pick out a theme song for him to come in on here, Josh, and I'm gonna send him an email.
Oh, a theme song.
Yeah, he's got to. We got to put him on the spot. He'll do it.
I'm sure he will.
So I'm gonna send him an invite while you come up with that.
I don't know how the chat feels, but man, I don't think you can really go wrong with Journey.
Okay. So we'll let him.
Let's let him decide.
Okay. I went to the wrong place to get him. I got to go over here. Oh, Renee. I just went to my chat and I just saw something that I'm not going to say. Renee in Canada, I got the image that you sent me.
Oh, yeah. Chris said, don't stop believing. Chris Cavanis, if I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, and Chris Cavanis, that's another one I want to share a link to, a fundraiser for his daughter. Little Mountain Life, I just sent you the link in Messenger. And we will wait for you to nibble on that. And I'm going to pop in a link. Josh, run your mouth a little bit here for me real quick while I pop in another link.
So, one thing we haven't done, we have right now at 57 people watching. We got a lot of people in the chat, and I just want to kind of run through some names here real fast just to give people some shout outs here. And I'm not going to be able to get to all of you because there's a lot of you. So hopefully we'll be able to by the end of the show. but I do see a lot of regulars, but I also see a lot of new faces, or new names rather, as well. So I'm just going to kind of start here at the top. So Tampa Drone Life, Daniel T. Oh, and by the way, if I shorten your name and just say a letter, it's because I can't pronounce your last name. So I apologize. Mall, JSKCKNIT. We got Dennis, Alan Hazard, Unemployed Redneck Hillbilly Creations. That's a nice one. Guido K. Darnell Pooley, Drone Syndrome, Hubson Choice, Greek Nonstop Riders, Ted Smith, Chester Franklin, BC and the FK, Bob, Cindy, and the Foster Kids.
Bermuda Bob, is that him?
That's Bermuda Bob. That's right. Drone Addict, Gene Bindles.
Gene's a long-time regular.
Chester Franklin. Little Mountain Life, who's going to be joining us here shortly.
I'm ready to click the button.
Oh, you ready? All right. Well, I apologize, guys. We'll get to some more here.
All right.
Later.
Here he comes, and introducing Don from Little Drone Life, or Little Mountain Life.
There he is.
What's up, Don?
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. All right, is that enough?
That's
I'm
good.
up. I'm up.
You're not in your studio. I see you're in the you're in the dining room of the new house, correct?
Yeah, we're in the great room. My wife is in her studio doing real work right now. So,
Nice.
but yeah, how's it going?
I just took a guess as to where you were. I really don't know the layout of your house.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
I think Chris has been trying to figure you out now, man.
I have been watching his content though, and I do recommend people go and check out his channel, Little Mountain Life. And I gotta take your message off screen here, but check out his channel and go watch his story of kind of going off grid into the modern word slipped, the modern
Was it homestead?
homesteading.
Yeah, modern homesteading.
Thanks a lot for helping me out, buddy.
I'm just like, he's gonna get there, but
Yeah.
It's because I'm off looking on one side doing one thing and then trying to remember what the hell I'm going to spit out of my mouth and say.
yeah, I'm definitely not a drone channel per se. I've gotten some drone shots from my old Unique Breeze that I used early on, and I was just waiting for that Xeno 2, and that's finally here. And I've been taking some test runs with that, trying to figure out how that's been working. And Chris has helped me out a lot with kind of troubleshooting a few things, but I think I got it locked down now. And I was going to fly it today, actually. I posted a screenshot of my app. What is it called? The UAV forecast app. And my wind gusts up here on the mountain right now are about 90 miles an hour. And so I took a screenshot and posted it on Zeo Nation. I was like, I think I'm gonna test out my Xeno 2's wind resistance capabilities.
No, I think I saw that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I saw that.
one guy totally took it seriously. I'm like, bro, come on.
Come on, the Xeno 2 can handle 95 miles per hour. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I was having some toilet bowl effect issues, but I didn't do the horizontal calibration. I did the other ones, and I think that did the trick, and it's flying pretty good now.
Good.
Nice.
Good. I actually brought one with me here to Virginia to work on. That's one thing too. That's not a good sign this early on when you start getting them in so quickly to repair. I mean, the first two they sent me were repairs. I fixed two people's from Don and Josh, our little fundraiser that we did, our fundraiser group.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Two people just out of that small group. I've had their quads. One of them I have right now. I won't say his name in case he doesn't want it said, but if he wants to mention it in the chat, he can mention it. But yeah, it's his issue is the same that my first bricked. It's not technically bricked, but it's locked up enough to where it was a hard fight, and the recovery firmware didn't work the way it should have, and I had to play a couple firmware games with it, and then finally got that damn yellow light. But
yeah, honestly, that's part of why I decided to pull the trigger. After chatting with you online and knowing that you were so close, I figured, hey, if the sucker breaks, I know who to go to.
Well, I've even been called for recovery to get one out of a tree, as you guys saw that.
There we go.
That one's actually that's all done and given back to the owner, and it dried out. Every single thing works on it. He messaged me today and said took it out for a flight. It's flying beautiful, and the only thing that died in that was the battery. The battery's toast.
You know, I got to hand it to them for that. I mean, say what you want about Hubson or some of these quads, and I mean, I know that what's his name, Duranify, Al Duran, his FIMI, fell out of the sky randomly and fell into some water. He was able to dry it out and fix it up, and it was fine. And Hubson now with one where it got wet and it was dried out and it was fine. Whatever they're doing, I got to hand it to them for that. I think that's pretty cool. Any electronic thing that I might have that gets wet or falls into water or something like that, I feel like it's just been toast, and it's never dried out. Nothing ever worked appropriately. So I think that's pretty cool. That's just my opinion, of course. But I mean, what do you guys think?
Chatty?
I'm sorry. I was just, I am very sorry. I was replying to someone else.
No, I mean, that amazes me too. I mean,
as far as the quality and the ability to
withstanding some situations where they're underwater and brought back to life, and especially the camera and the sensors, because they were waterlogged and they had that condensation built up, and I'm like, I'm never gonna get this stuff dried out, and I did, and that they're perfect, as perfect as that camera can be, but everything's fine. He's very happy, and that's all that matters.
Maybe Hubson needs to change their tech specs and say it's water resistant up to so many.
Yeah, that'll make it more attractive. Maybe, I don't know. For the novices. I was amazed that because I thought when you told me that it fell 45 feet from a tree into the water and then was submerged fully. I thought it was done.
It was all. I haven't put any footage out or anything like that, and I haven't asked his permission, but I did. When I had it, obviously the card was in it. I do have the flight footage of the crash, and when I saw it hit, and then props were just still going crazy, like I expected ESC damage, motor damage, something like that. So I was shocked that all that worked, but the way it. When my son knocked it out of the tree, the way it landed upside down, just breaking it, falling in the water was perfect, because the water was only deep, about 12 inches, a little over 12 inches deep, and it was all rock. So if it went down in perfect dive, it would have been a different story, especially for that camera. It was just, it was luck how it landed, but yeah, withstanding all that water and everything on any quad electronic, it's not a big amazement that it survives. It's all the little tiny components where that water gets trapped that amazes me. Like those sensors, I thought these sensors are toast. They're not gonna function. They may register, but they will not function. I got them all cleared out. I didn't use any rice or anything. Just let it sit out in the sun in my window and get a cool breeze. And then some nights it kind of sat above the heater and all worked out.
Hey, Chris,
for the cool breeze.
We We have a question in the chat here. Charles Toast, in regard to that, said upside down or Hubson down?
Ups and downs.
We got a Hubson down. We got a Hubson down.
It was upside down, but Hubson down would be when the battery, if this Hubson Xeno 2 starts to fail us like the original Xeno batteries did, that'll be we'll give Charles Toast that catchphrase to Hubson down.
Well, speaking of the batteries, though,
battery issue.
you guys have had yours going for longer than me. Do we have any reason to suspect that the batteries are going to give us an issue in this one?
Nothing yet, and you can't. I'm sorry. My opinion is you can't get anything off that app that is accurate. I've seen a couple fluctuations in my cell readings since one of the later app updates, but it's basically just giving your overall cell voltage readings, and it's not going to alarm you and say, hey, this one's dropping faster. I don't think you're ever going to see cell number 2 is all of a sudden dropping faster than others. I've paid attention to that thing. I've looked at it. I've checked it after flights, and for the most part, 95% or even 99% of the time, it's an even playing field all the way across all 4 cells.
So when you flew it back from Maryland, you brought it down to like what, 2% or something? Was it like going crazy on you, saying battery dangerously low?
Yeah.
See, it did that to me yesterday. I was at 15%. I was like, I don't know, 5,000 feet out. Well, no, I wasn't. I was on my way back from being 5,000 feet out, and it was like, it said something like battery dangerously low or something like that. I'm like, dude, I got 15%. I should be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting.
It did say that, and it's not recommended that you go down 15% even. I mean, on a regular basis. I think a majority of people will agree like 25% is your best battery management, bringing it down to about 25%. I definitely don't practice that, and I don't have a lot of problems with them. But it did give me the warning, dangerously low and all that. But I got the one message of forced return to home, and I canceled it out to where it wouldn't come back again. That option I love that they gave us, that you can do not tell me again, click it, and they'll leave you alone with that. Versus in the past, it would pop up every time you'd clear it, it'd pop back up again and to return to home, and it was a pain in the butt.
Hey, Chris.
Yo.
Can you highlight that statement from CL Tech real quick?
Oh.
I was just responding to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just want to just say something on it. But I noticed, I mean, it does drop, or the battery in the controller does drop quickly. I mean, it could be due to the display. It has a display now, and that probably drains a little bit more juice than it normally would if it was on the other regular Xeno remote. I know Chris got you got like good three flights out of it, 3 full flights with the controller.
And we could have easily gone more.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm glad that was brought up, because some people that have only flown one battery, and then at the end of that flight, have seen how much it's used, are making the assumption that this is not going to fly 2 batteries. It definitely gives you a full 3 batteries. And when we were flying that day, Chad, I said to Corey, I said, I can get another battery out of this controller. I'll be pushing it, and I'll hit flat out dead with it, but I can get another battery with that controller.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get almost 4 full flights out of that controller, and that's nothing different with the FIMI X8 SE. The FIMI X8 SE is not going to give you much more life than that either.
Yeah.
So that's good that that was brought up.
Hey guys, I should drop out. My kids are going crazy, but it's good chatting with you.
All right. Nice seeing you, man.
Nice seeing you, buddy.
Hopping in.
Don't stop believing.
All right.
Don't stop believing.
Attaboy.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Take it easy.
Love that guy.
I saw Greg Traver in here earlier in the chat.
He's saying his is dropping faster than that. So I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't know why yours would be dropping out faster than that, but I don't know. I've got two controllers, so I can try them both and see if they both perform exactly the same. But
Bermuda Bob brings up a good point in here. He says if cell phone battery is low, then that's a problem. Because I can say that because if my cell phone battery is low, the charger or the transmitter itself actually charges my cell phone as well. So I bet it does drain a lot quicker because of that. I bet if you have a full battery, it's going to stop, trying to charge that, or relatively full. So you'll probably be able to get a longer life out of that charge for the transmitter. I could be wrong. That's just speculation.
No,
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and that's not something I thought about. So that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and it's the details like that I don't often think about. I'm just seeing what I get out of mine, and I'm like, I don't understand what they're talking about here. But it also could be a difference in device as well, where
absolutely
iOS and Android and the different platforms of Android or different devices of Android doing different things. So there could be big differences there to where if you try to test something like that, you would have to have many factors in place to confirm exactly what's doing what on what device and such.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
So, but yeah, he says he'll try again tomorrow. Makes sense, just like your very last words out of your mouth, Josh. But did anybody else when we brought Don in that did anybody else say they wanted to jump in here?
I'll be honest with you. Shortly after we brought him in, I saw Greg Traver in the chat. I don't know if he's still in there. I told him he goes. I asked him if he wanted to come in, but I didn't see a response. But then again, I might have just missed it. But
I don't see him.
I haven't seen him in a little while.
Greg was everybody's hit or everybody's favorite on the giveaway with his language, and his signs, and
I like to meet Greg.
But
he's definitely a good dude.
One thing I wanted to do is I'm just going to pick a person here in the chat that I think going into this, what I wanted to do was I wanted to just kind of pick somebody in the chat that's been, everybody's been good in chat, so I got to be careful in how I say this, but helpful, informative, really, trying to help us out at the same time. And that's going to be Charles Toast. And then you also being a newbie here, Charles Toast, I just want to a little question for you first. What is your current situation with where you live? Are you in forced quarantine? Are you working? What's your situation? And other people you can chime into if you're in your total quarantine. How this has affected you the most, and whatever you want to comment. And that was kind of what I wanted to go to, bringing people in, but bringing people in on live. But having Don on, we know he's off in the mountains by himself. He's not really at risk. But I think, Charles just commented not long ago, a few minutes ago, so he should be able to reply to my question as to.
I see a comment here in the chat. Nick Fountain, Alabama, just went full forced quarantine today. Charles Toast responded, I work in the events industry, so it's going to be a thin year. Well, social distancing here in LA.
So he's in LA, and he's been in quarantine. I mean, LA went into quarantine. Well, Charles, with that being said, and like I said, since you were so helpful, you've been friendly. That's what I love to see in the chat. Nobody nobody taking stabs at anybody and just causing any problems, keeping it professional. Give you something,
Oh,
give you a little giveaway to fly indoors. And it's nothing big, but I did try it out and I actually did really enjoy it. And that's I pronounce it SEMA. People say it differently, but SYMA, SEMA. It's the X100, and I'll pull it out and show it to you. But I had a good time flying it around in the house, and it's fully guarded. It's nice and safe. You can fly it around with the kids, pets, and it's pretty cool looking. Nice shiny.
nice.
Now,
Oh, yeah, it is nice.
they say it sensors all the way around for obstacle avoidance. That's not really the case. Obstacle avoidance, but
They lie.
it does want to steer clear of hard full-on contact. So once you get it bound up and you set the orientation properly for your heading mode or direction, it's easy to fly. It's fun to fly. It comes with, I think, two batteries and a controller. I'm gonna unpackage it here. Like I said, I've already had it out, so I've already had it out and played with it. Just a simple little controller. Nothing fancy, but it's an indoor flyer, and I had a good time bouncing it off the roof and the walls in the house, and I tested its durability. So, Charles Toast, that's for you. Can you contact me on Facebook, dude?
Oh, and by LA too. He meant Louisiana, not LA and California. I just saw that not too long ago.
Oh, it's the quarantine one.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Charles
For
Toast.
Charles
Yeah.
Toast. Charles
Oh,
Toast.
oh,
He's in Louisiana, not LA as in California.
Oh,
It was a little closer. Maybe the shipping cost wouldn't cost too much.
right.
So,
I don't know how shipping's going to work. I have been receiving quads, and I have been delivering them back once I fix them. So far shipping's been okay within the U.S. He does not do Facebook. Yeah, we'll have to.
you can do some type of Google chat or something like that.
Well, no,
or-
you can actually on my, if you go into my channel and look at the info at the last tab all the way to the right, it shows you my info, and it'll say for business inquiries, my email address. Just shoot me an email and put in the subject line your name, Charles Toast, free indoor drone or something like that, and
nice.
that way if it goes to spam or anything, I'll be able to find it. So yeah, give me your address and I'll get that out to you as soon as possible, and hopefully you'll enjoy some little toy indoor flying. They're always fun, and it doesn't, especially when you get it free as a giveaway, doesn't hurt that much when you crash it. But I will say it's tough. So it's fun to toss around and play with.
Nice.
Wow. During that, I can see in the chat that a lot of people have responded in terms of what their situation is, in terms of everything that's going on. And there's, I want to say it's Watson, WA7SON. So I apologize if it's not Watson, but he says, I'm from Kentucky. I work for Nestle and make Hot Pockets. Since we make food, we're considered essential. Fortunately, I still get to work, but we have over 1,000 employees in our plant.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at.
That's a lot.
That's where I'm at. I don't work. I don't
You're
do.
in Sheets.
Yeah, I work on the equipment, the actual production equipment for the food production. So my job's essential, and actually working at Sheets, that's the actual safest place next to home. I feel all the things they have taken and implemented for the safety of product and such, and what they've done for us employees. I couldn't work for a better company at this time. It is a little scary though. Just it's not scary. I don't want to use that word. It's a little strange now going back and forth to work anywhere you go. Like coming here from Pennsylvania to stay with my mom, going through the Washington metropolitan area. Like it was
Can only imagine.
It was eerie. Like I was talking to Chad on the phone for a part of it before I got to the Beltway, and it was like, dude, I've only seen 5 cars. It's only truck. I mean, it was very strange. So yeah, him being in the food industry, he's essential. Dennis is essential. He's retired.
It looks like a lot of people are, finally have a stay-at-home order in a lot of different states. I saw, Washington, Florida, Amsterdam, a new one, total lockdown, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on.
And I can't say that we're not going to see that, Josh, in Pennsylvania. But I don't know how I could react to a total lockdown, not going to work. I mean, obviously I would do it. I mean, that's what you should do and have to do and practice. But I'm actually glad that I can go to work, even though they have done some reductions in that. But I can still get out and go to work. That total quarantine, I don't know how I would do just being locked up in my house.
So there's Greg. Greg is back.
Lots of opportunity for horror movie B-roll. I love it. That's the truth, though. It is. Like there have been people here in downtown Pittsburgh, and I believe it has to do with I'm pretty sure it's the news just in general, and they have drones and so forth, but they've been flying a lot of drones around downtown Pittsburgh and showing rush hour traffic. And it's just empty. And I mean, downtown Pittsburgh and rush hour is, Chris, it's terrible. It's ridiculous. Absolutely insane. But there is nobody on the roads.
Tunnel, you have traffic. No matter what time of the day you hit that tunnel, it's traffic.
It's nuts. It's nuts. And if I could, I would send a drone up downtown, because you can fly in downtown Pittsburgh, no problems. For the most part, I would totally go and do that. But I'm trying to be good here and only leave when I have to.
Yeah. I'm bad at holding on to one as everybody else is chatting, but there was one I wanted to answer. One thing I did want to ask, touching base on the Xeno 2, just on YouTube personally. Those of you who don't know or coming into this late or haven't seen, Chad has the Xeno 2. He's had the bad imaging cable issue to where he's waiting on that. And now, Josh, you messaged me with your issue.
I did.
Did you resolve that?
I did not. No. And
that's something good to ask other Xeno 2 owners if they've seen that, because it's functioning fully fine. It's fully fine, right? It's correct.
It flies. I flew it around the backyard. It works just fine, but it's not showing a flight control firmware version when you look into the app. So it shows the transmitter firmware version, which is 1.1.4, but it won't show me the
it's blank.
It is. It's totally blank. But it flies just fine. It works just fine. And it just happened ever since. The only thing that I did different was I actually updated the transmitter yesterday, and that was to 1.1.4. And then I figured it would prompt me to update the flight control firmware as well, but it didn't. And I said, okay, well, this is weird. So I figured I'd just go in and manually do it. So I went in to manually try to do that, and it was just blank. Nothing was there. So I said, this is weird. So I ended up taking it out just to fly around the backyard a little bit. Everything seemed to work fine. No problems. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss. So I tried, restarting everything. I tried a different battery because I have 2 batteries. The only thing I didn't try yet, and I was going to try, but I didn't yet, was an actual full reflash of the firmware through the computer. but I didn't try that yet. Ended up not having time today to try that. So
I'd be curious, and just because you have two, I would be curious first to see if anybody else has that same problem or has seen anybody with that same problem. But I would be curious to see if it asks for an auto update on down the road. Just like leave it alone. And when you know there's an update, turn that one on and see if it asks for an auto update, and see if it corrects itself there. Because then that way, if you ever see anybody, say in my group where everybody is posting their help and support questions, if you ever see anybody say, "Hey, look, my quad's flying fine, but it does not show me the firmware. Should I update firmware or something like that?" You could actually steer them steer them clear of making that mistake of going on and doing a firmware update where that can completely put you in a whole different direction, because most people aren't computer savvy, and as soon as they go and get into that situation where they're updating the quad, they run into other issues. So if it's something that will self-update and correct that issue versus somebody going on the computer and doing a firmware update, and you're increasing risk by doing that as a newbie.
And Chris, I'm also going to be honest with you too. The reason why today I didn't really have time, today to do it. I thought I was going to, but then I ended up not having time to do the computer update. But I remember the last time that you did the computer update, it had, something went wrong in that process. So I was a little afraid to, go down that road. But I know that they gave us that, you gave us that unbrick file as well. So that made me feel a little bit better.
There's a certain handful, and I still don't understand it. And I could pull up the message from the person at Hubston that was using the Samly account, doing private messaging with me. His exact words were, "We've been having this problem since December in the Asian market." Ooh. And I mentioned this, I think, in the last live. And all you need is this recovery firmware. So he sent me this firmware, did not work. Well, it turned out I'm on a different firmware, or at that time was on a different firmware than the ones back in December that shipped out. So those shipped out during all this pre-order and everything. They were going out the back door. And my understanding of it, based on him saying how many that happened to, and the way that it happened during the update, there's something with a select few, probably the type of firmware we got ours on, that it's destined to happen to. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I was worried in the beginning that, hey, doing your firmware update on the computer is a bad thing. For me, in my situation where it got bricked, and this one that was sent to me that I've just recently been working on and unbricking, I think it was destined to happen. It was just, there's no avoiding it based off the firmware that we received our quads under. So I don't want to scare anybody from doing the firmware update on the computer, but you got to put it out there that for newbies, it's not an inviting process. It is a lot easier than the old stuff used to be, but hooking your quad up to the computer, opening up a program, selecting your files, there's places to make human error. But this tool is much better, where it's not letting you place the wrong file when you do the update process. You can't put the wrong file in the wrong place and go and brick it that way.
And Chris, I can add to that a little bit real fast. I did open up that program and I looked at it, and I'm definitely not the most high-tech person in the world by any means. I wouldn't say that I'm a beginner to it all by any means either, but it can be a little intimidating for sure when you look at that software program, because I mean, heck, there's a lot going on there, in terms of buttons and where you put things and what you have to click and so forth. And I mean, that's definitely something to be a little not afraid of, but it's just if you haven't done it before,
Yeah, your first
it could be a problem.
Your first glimpse of that tool, if you're not real familiar with this stuff, is holy cow, there's a lot of going on here, but three-quarters of it you don't touch, you do not use, or it doesn't function at all. But it's there, and it looks very busy, and it can mentally be like, I don't want to do this. And people will send me and do send me their quads just to do firmware updates.
Just for that.
To do firmware updates. I have gotten tons of regular Xenos where they wanted me to do just firmware updates. And I'm happy to do it. You know, I'm more than happy to do it.
That's awesome.
I've had to get to the point now though where I do charge. Anybody wants to send me a quad now, if you send it to me, I will give you a flat fee as to what to pay. It's
only fair.
Way cheaper than anything you're going to pay in shipping it and having nothing to work on it. And chances are you're going to get it back working. So I've got a good track record. I think I've only had two out of every single one I've worked on. One I couldn't fix, and one I sent back, and he had, it was a cable change issue. I sent it back to him, and then the gimbal started acting crazy again. Sent it back to me. I messed with it. It could not correct it. That gimbal just wanted to fight me the whole time. So ended up, what he did is he did a donation. And then he just said, send me the quad back and half the donation. And I did that. So he still made a donation, and that was very nice.
Nice.
But But I did it strictly off donation base, and then you're doing a lot of work. You're spending 2 full days in somebody's quad working on it, going through it bit by bit, and then you tell them, look, I don't charge anything. I just ask that you make a donation based on what it's worth to you, and then they give you a donation of $20, and it's like, that's how much it's costing to ship it back to you, and that's how much you're willing to also pay me on top of the shipping. I think it's kind of a take advantage insult. So now I charge a flat rate, and it's so reasonable. So
awesome.
Yeah.
But I think we can kind of wrap it up here. I have not checked the number, but I think we're actually holding on to people tonight here.
We've got 48 watching right now.
We have 48 right now, and
we got a lot of people watching.
Yeah.
If
nice.
you
want to bring anybody on to say goodnight?
I was really banking on more people interaction to pull people out of the audience. There's some regulars that pop up in here that have not done any type of live or do a lot of stuff. There's a few that I've scrolled through and seen that I would love to see say, hey, yeah, dude, I'd like you to pull me in, and I'll come and be on here with you guys. But I'm not going to force anybody or put anybody on the spot.
Anybody?
I'm just trying to look at some. What about CL Tech?
Yeah, I was going to ask about him.
Yeah, if he's still in here, have him pop on here. I mean, you can jump on here and plug your channel, dude.
Yeah, CL Tech is like the guy from what was Tim Allen's show? Was it
Tech Time? Or
it wasn't Tool
Time?
It wasn't Tool Time. Yeah, well, that was the name of his show on the show. I think Home Improvement.
He said
CL Tech. Yeah, one day. Okay.
One day. All right.
Yeah, CL Tech is like he's like the guy behind the fence that you never see his face.
His hands.
His neighbor. His neighbor. You saw it like the top of his head. All the time, he always used to peek over the fence.
Yeah.
You never really saw his face.
Yeah, I forgot who that was. But yeah.
He's the man behind the camera. Yeah.
You always see his hand.
Yeah.
In his videos. Always see his hand.
Yeah, in his videos. Yeah. Oh, we could bring Brian on. Brian's here.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Brian, you want to jump on here with us? He'll say no. Brian will say no because we're not Xeno Nation. Brian, come on.
No.
Come on with us here, Brian, and bitch about something. I always joke with him and tell him
Okay.
He's the true.
He's good.
He's the true grumpy reviewer. You want to send him a link to jump in, Chad?
Do I still have it? Well, I have to. Let me go back to my chat and get it. Hold on.
Yeah, send it to him, and I'm gonna take a break real quick. Probably the same reason as Josh took his break, so I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, bear with me, folks. I'm just scrolling through here. See if I can get this. Yeah, let me get this thing here. Brief intermission.
Sorry about that. I
Mhm.
I heard everything.
Oh, okay.
We bring in
So I'm trying to.
Brian
Hey, can you?
from True Drone Reviews.
Yeah, can you send him the link? I know you probably got quick access to his contact or something, because I don't.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm on.
Is everybody sticking in there? Oh, actually, we got more people. So we're just taking a brief
50 watching
break.
now.
Yeah. Well, I got 52. Maybe I'm a little behind.
Oh no, you might be ahead.
Oh, okay.
Mine's
Well, I'm
changing
watching.
over here.
Oh, okay. Yes. Nice turnout. We had 64 at one point. Yeah.
Okay, let me get this link. We'll send it to Brian. Okay, Brian said he's ready, and I just found the link. Brian, I'm gonna go on ahead and send that to you on Facebook Messenger.
And while we're waiting for him, how many people have completely lost their job, like lost your job to no return because of this whole virus thing? Because you know, that's the one thing, you know, the show's not totally themed.
Brian just saw it.
Okay, the
Sorry.
show's not totally themed on that, but I mean, we do have the hashtag in the thumbnail and in the title, or in the description and everything. But I'm just curious, like, you know, it's really affected a lot of people. And one thing, aside from knowing people who have caught the virus, how many of you have totally lost your job to where there is absolutely no returning to your job, and you're faced with the agony of trying to find a job in this situation? That's something I would like to know, if there's many people in that situation. And I'm gonna bring Brian in now. There he is.
There he is.
Brian,
Yay.
there's the man.
Oh, Brian, it's
You
nice.
know,
How you doing, buddy?
It's
my
nice to
Autel-
finally
my
be on
Autel-
live with you, man.
My Autel showed up today.
Oh, did it?
That thing is absolutely cherry. You could tell the guy never
What?
crashed it. I mean, it is immaculate.
Sweet.
So you did get that
Nice.
used, or
Mhm.
well, slightly used.
Well, that's what
I
he
should say.
said. Slightly used.
Yeah.
He wasn't lying.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It looks like he might have had a tip over and scuffed up one of the props, because those quads are like the Phantom 3, and I tipped them things over many times, landed them. You know, they just land, fall forward. That happens a lot. But he might have did that a couple times. But the body is like, it's like brand new.
Do you have a nearby?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll grab it for you real quick. It's right over here.
You're off.
Yeah, that thing's really cool looking. I saw it in some pictures, and I actually went to go and try to look it up, and you can't find that thing anywhere, man. You just can't. I don't know. I've got to figure out where Brian got that from. It looks pretty cool.
Right now, while we're waiting on him, Chris Cavanis, I did say earlier on, I'm going to share a link. His daughter, Tinley, has cystic fibrosis, and he's got a fundraiser going on Facebook, and I'm going to post that link. He's got a goal of $2,000 that he's trying to reach, and myself and some other people have donated to it, and it's got 272 days left, but I sure would love to see him just reach that goal and help him out with that for his daughter. And she is simply adorable. And I love the name Tinley. But she's adorable. I saw her getting one of her treatments where it's a vest that she wears, and it's like it vibrates and I guess helps clear the lungs or whatever, the fluid and stuff. But I'm not fully versed on that. But she was on the couch and she was getting a new treatment where they kicked it up a little bit, and it like literally had her shaking, and she was just laughing and giggling. And it's just amazing how kids deal with things. But I would really love to help him out, and people just make a small donation of whatever you can, small or large. I mean, anything is good. A little bit of people can do a whole lot. So I'm going to put his link in here. If you want to click that link, guys, and I'll also put it in the description, just leave him a little donation for his daughter Tinley, and that would be great. So there it is. And now we're going to go look at the new toy.
Oh, I thought you seen it already. I didn't know.
He showed it off.
I was talking and clicking the
That's
link.
all right.
I was off the screen.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so it is like brand new, man.
Oh, it is. It's immaculate.
Now, have you
Oh,
checked?
it sure is.
Have you checked the flight log on it?
No, I haven't done that, but I did start it up.
It's probably got no flight time hardly.
It's cherry as it can be for a used quadcopter.
Mhm.
Sweet.
Wow. Brian, can I ask you, did you find that on eBay or did you find that elsewhere?
eBay.
eBay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I found that egg drone too for $300.
That's right, you did.
You know,
That was a steal and a half.
at that time it was, yeah.
Oh yeah, and it still is today. That thing's still only selling for $350 nowadays.
And that was the guy that I bought it off of. He wasn't even selling it. He did a drop ship thing on that. I don't know what warehouse that thing came out of.
I
He
think
was in San Diego when it got shipped from Chicago.
I think you kind of brought life back into the sales of that thing too, because for me it seemed non-existent until you had it on your show.
Yeah, I know. Then once I put it on, then some guy he came on. He'd had one for like a year. He had a few videos on him, but nobody paid any attention to it. But once I got it, other people started talking about it. And a couple of people bought it. Where'd you get that? Nobody even knew about it.
It's because of Brian. I got mine.
Yeah, well, that power vision.
Didn't you borrow his first?
No, I saw it in person when I first met with Brian. And I saw it. I saw it, and oh my gosh, I was like, man, this thing's freaking cool. Oh, and I had to have one. So it's because of him.
You still got to make sure you bring that with you whenever we do ever finally have that opportunity to get together.
We will. We're going to do that, and I'll bring it. But that thing there, that's the better one, the X-Star Premium, not the regular X-Star.
Okay.
The regular X-Star is like a Phantom 3 where it uses the Wi-Fi transmission. The X-Star Premium uses the Starlight transmission. The range is way better.
So that's like their version of, like how everybody's got their different transmission types, their own type of like leaks, like Hubson.
Right. Well, that was the original. Now they call it, that's called Starlight transmission. That's like their version of OcuSync.
Okay.
Okay. Now the new one for the Evo, it's called Star something else. I don't know.
So their own proprietary system.
Right. It's their own proprietary transmission system.
Yeah.
And it's just pretty damn close to OcuSync as you can get.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But this one here has a lot more range than the regular. The regular one is the white one. That's the one that's not the advanced.
Okay.
The orange one is the advanced.
Okay.
Is the advanced model. The regular one that just runs on Wi-Fi, which would be like a Phantom 3, just regular Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's the white one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
So what are your thoughts on the X8 SE 2020? Big changes there, Brian.
Well, I'll tell you what, I did a nice update on my X8 SE the other day, and it's gotten better.
Has it?
It was a complete blur fest. It was just a mess. Well, now it's at least clear, but it does do that gimbal shake periodically. I don't know what causes that, but I'm just going to keep updating it as the updates, and hopefully it'll work itself out. But I thought it was hopeless. I mean, I thought that thing was going to be just in the garbage. But this update I put on the other day and took it out, I made a video and I even talked about Josh. Josh noticed that even when it was completely a blur, you remember that video I made up at the lake? It was nothing but a blur. Okay.
Yep.
But when it would always focus really good up close.
Very, very close. Yep.
It would have to be like right, like your face right up to the camera. It would be right crystal clear. But as soon as it got away from anything where it had to refocus, it just went right in the toilet. Right in the toilet. Yeah, but now that I put this update back on, it cleared it up.
Slowly reviving itself here, coming back to life.
Hey guys, I'm going to switch cameras on you real quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
it was good to see after asking that question. Really, not a lot of people have totally lost their jobs after I asked that question. I didn't really.
I'm still working every day.
You live at your work,
right? So there's no getting away. I'm stuck, Chris.
Dude, you're in a situation though that I would not want to be in. You're totally you're going into people's homes.
Right. Well, I tell you what I do is when I go up to the door and knock on the door, if I don't know him personally, which I know a lot of people here personally, if I don't know him personally, I make him go in the bedroom. Leave the door unlocked, go in the bedroom, and then I'll come in and fix your dishwasher or whatever it is it's you're ailing you. But I won't meet with him face to face. If it's somebody I know personally, they're going to tell me, Brian, I'm not feeling good.
Yeah.
They're not going to just let me walk in on it.
Yeah.
But if it's some stranger, that just rolled in from some foreign country, I'm not going in there unless.
And I'm sure you're washing and sanitizing everything afterwards, right?
Right. Oh, I wear gloves and shit like that. But now starting Monday, I got to wear a face mask. So I think
that's scary. That's really scary in your situation. I mean, because you totally have to trust these people, where they've been and what they've been around. And,
right. Well, I'm the one that's at the most risk because the other two guys that work here, one of them is the painter, so he's just in empty apartments, and the other one is the one that does the getting the apartments ready, changing the appliances or the blinds and all that crap. I'm the one that does all the HVAC and the plumbing, and I'm the one that goes in there when the people are there. Them guys go in there when there's nobody in the apartments,
Yeah.
So I'm the one that is most subjected to all this mumbo jumbo. So it is what it is. So, Oh, now I don't know if you noticed on my Facebook page, I posted that I picked up one of those Walkira Vitus things.
So Brian, I definitely saw that picture.
Yeah.
I had to look through the comments to try to find what the name of that thing was. That thing's really weird looking. I like it, but it's weird looking.
That came out right after the Mavic Pro came out.
Wow.
That was a competitor. That was going to be Walkira's answer to the Mavic Pro. It didn't work out. It sold pretty decently in Asia, but it never caught on here. So they had a warehouse full of them here. So they were dumping them for $199. They were going for $900. When they first came out, they were $900. I couldn't pass up $200. I just had to.
Hell no, man.
I just had to buy.
Not for $200. Wow.
I mean,
you said you got the last one too, didn't you?
Well, that was the last one that Drone Nerds had in this shipment. But they every couple of weeks, it seems I tried to get it on the last shipment they had, but I just missed it. But they said, because they're the ones fixing my Mavic Pro, the drone
Gotcha.
node. They're in Florida. But anyway, so they said a couple of weeks ago, they said, well, we ran out of them, but we're supposed to get another load in. And they got another load in. I went on this morning. It said one left. So I hit it. Get that stuff.
There you go.
I popped up on the screen here, Pistol Pete asking anybody having connection issues, and normally I try to keep it out of the chat where it's, hey, let's not fix your quad while we're here in chat, but I only popped it up because I'm curious as to what type of connection issue you're having with your FIMI X8 SE. And Brian, I think I had connection issue a little while back. So I'm trying to see if this is similar. So Pistol Pete, if you could say what type of connection problem, like you cannot connect to you can't bind controller and quad, what message is it giving you to stop you from doing that? Because I may have an answer for you, and it's something that I still need to put out on video, but if I could help you quickly, that would be awesome. And that's where FIMI's excellent customer service jumped on it. And I mean, this was during their quarantine. They responded to my email right away.
Wow.
Yeah. I
didn't have to repeat stuff. I didn't have to keep sending videos and pictures. They knew exactly what my issue was. They said, send us this, send us this. I did have to give them my log on and stuff. They went in and then turned on a feature in my maintenance mode to completely recalibrate everything in the quad.
Wow.
Fix my problem.
That's awesome.
They gave me nothing but crap.
That was awesome customer service.
They told me just get a better memory card.
It always does count, depend on who you get and shit too.
Right. Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
Some people just don't want to work today, so they're going to say, "Oh, send me video."
Right. That's what Hudson did with the Xeno Pro. Oh, send me a 10-second video clip.
Yeah.
So I sent them the clip, and then 5 days later, they got back to me. Our engineering department says your SD card is no good. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Well, his issue is different anyhow. His last 2 flights after takeoff disconnected, land, quad, reboot, phone, everything okay. That would be 2 things I would say is delete, if it continues, delete your app, reinstall your app, and also check your connection cable. That's the 2 things I would throw at you.
Don't that FIMI have a reset button on it too? Don't have one of them little holes in there? You can reset it to the factory?
I don't think it does.
No?
I don't think it does.
I've never seen it.
No?
No.
But I never looked for it either.
I thought, well, usually they're in there where the SD card would be.
SD card is.
You know what?
If I see something like that, that's like finding the red button in a plane. They say, "Do not touch."
Yeah, right.
I'm going to. So if it's there, I would.
No, it's not a button; it's a hole. You have to.
Yeah, but I would have definitely taken like a toothpick and said, "Well, let's just see what."
Damn.
Wow.
I remember when I got my FIMI X8, the first one, the only issues I had was them GPS dropouts, which was, it was, but the camera was, it was rock solid. It was crystal damn clear. As soon as I started putting them updates on there, that camera just started fading and fading. Then I rolled it back. I found somebody online that he had like a cloud storage thing. He had an old update file on there, an old firmware. So I snagged that. I put the old firmware on, didn't help. So then I just put the new firmware back on, and now it seems to be better. It's not like it originally was, but it's better. But what I don't understand, Chris, why doesn't FIMI, why don't they put the original, all the firmware updates on there, starting back from the original, so you can go back and put some old firmwares back on if you want. DJI does that with the Mavic.
Yeah.
I did it by firmware.
That would definitely be nice if they do that. But you can access old firmware.
Yeah.
There are people that like Josh has his huge files of Xeno firmware for all
I got all the Xeno firmwares too, but even though I never went past the second one because it's perfect, so I'm not messing with it. No more.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the second. I think it's 153 or something. 152.
152.
That's where I'm stuck.
1152.
Yeah, that's where
Yep.
that's where mine is right now, and that's where it's staying. I'm never going past the 152.
I've always gone past it, but I've always gone back. Like I always go past it just so I can practice what I preach, and I've always been preaching. Just go back. There's no
The color on the camera on the 152 to me looks the best.
with 164 or 165 or 146 or 145.
Well, that's the only number I know is the
I'm
the
sorry.
one I use.
035 or 036.
Yeah.
Those are the two most popular go back to camera firmwares, and for me, it's 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I can't join
I'm not
in on
messing
this
with it no
conversation.
more. Let's put it that way.
Sorry, Chad.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, sorry.
But
I don't have a Xeno. I don't have a Xeno 1 or a Xeno 2 right now. So
I've got enough parts to put one together for you, buddy. If you want to,
Okay.
I got a Xeno Pro that it's in the whole camera's taken apart, but I'm going to be tied up with this thing here, this orange pumpkin here for a few years. Messing around with it. And then by next week, the Valkyria, that'll be it because Drone Nerds is still working, but they're only doing shipping. They're not doing they're not repairing my Mavic Pro right now. So they're closed.
Yeah.
But the shipping department is the only thing working down there. So I don't even know when I'm going to get my Mavic Pro back.
They'll make sales. They'll make sales.
Yeah.
But nothing else.
Right. Right. They'll sell stuff and ship stuff, but they're not repairing anything. Well, Florida's closed down. I mean, I talked to one of my general managers down in Florida today. They're homebound. They got to stay in the house. So
this whole thing is just outrageous.
It is. I'm going to Beaver Run this weekend. I don't give a shit about no coronavirus. I don't give a shit. I'm going up there. There's nobody going to be there anyway but me. So
he just ruined the whole theme of this show.
Okay. Here's what I have to say for you, Brian. What are you going to do if something happens to you and you need to go to the hospital or something?
I can drive to the hospital, no problem.
And that's where you want to. That's where you want to be.
There's nobody going to be at Beaver Run Reservoir, Chris.
No,
I will be the only one
at the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. That is funny.
Drive on over.
I'm not even gonna try Brian.
I'll just drive over there, no problem.
It is pretty close to here. I mean,
it's 20 minutes.
Very close.
It's 20 minutes,
close.
25 minutes from you.
Well, we'll be watching that video where some crazy ass comes running out of the woods going.
I stay right up on the road. I don't go down into the woods.
Yeah, I might be doing some flights in my backyard soon.
That's all I'll do.
Me too.
Chad, where are you at?
I'm in Northern Virginia, Manassas. Yeah.
He's right here where I'm at.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
How far away are you guys from each other, Chris and Chad? Now that Chris, you're in Virginia.
Well, like 10 minutes. I think you're.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where are you over there by Neepsco, right?
Where you and I flew from, I'm less than 2 miles.
Yeah, so it's like maybe 15, 20 minutes, not even, going through the streets and everything. Yeah, it'll probably take like 20 minutes to get over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, are you working?
I am now done. My last day was on Wednesday, actually, this week.
Was it?
Yep. So I'm done for a little while.
What about the flooring guys? They're not installing or what?
Oh no. We have a couple essential installs as we're calling it.
Right.
And they're the ones where people are trying to move in right away, or they're vacant apartments, things like that. That's the only way that we're allowed to do work.
Right.
So we have a couple crews that are working to do those. So I was working from home for a while, but it got to the point where I was just caught up. There was nothing more I could do, because I can't schedule anybody. I can't.
Right.
I could fix some things.
Well, a lot of people
from home, but
there's a lot of people not ordering this stuff.
Oh
That's
yeah,
just like
yeah.
that.
Oh,
There's
absolutely.
Not a lot of people coming to rent apartment. Nobody's showing up to go for a tour. We haven't had that person show up here for a tour in 2 weeks.
No, I can only imagine.
We rented 2 apartments, but that was online. That was people from out of state and stuff. Nobody's actually driven up here and wanted to look at an apartment for 2 weeks.
It's been a long time, and now it kind of sucks, but I mean, I've had a plan in place, so I think personally, at least for me, I'm going to be okay. But I mean, everything's up in the air at this point, of course, but it is what it is.
Did you hear from Power Vision yet?
Nope.
What?
It might be close too. Who knows?
I'm sure they are. And you know what? I gave them the benefit of the doubt in my last email. I said to them, I just said again, no worries on this. I just want to make sure that you guys had this. And since then, I did get a response back, Brian, from them that they do have it. They updated the status on it. It's currently under technical examination on my Power Egg X. But it's been like that now for the past week, and I get it. I'm okay with that. They have it. I'm okay. We're good. I just would like to have it back. That's all.
Well, I think I got to get that Typhoon out of the box. I think I got to get that thing out of there.
If I ever want to pay attention to chat, all I got to do is have Brian on the show.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I've been able to just stop and I can look over and start reading some chat.
I got that Typhoon, that Q500. I've only flown it twice. I've had it for 2 years.
I just sold mine.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's the one I was telling you about, Brian. Yeah. I think.
Next time we
Chris, you have 2 of them, right?
I sold both of them.
You
now.
did it. You sold both of them.
You were telling me that he got rid of
it.
Yeah.
I flew my flyer first, kept the brand new one, never been flown. Everything's still on it. All the plastic's still on the screen and everything. I kept that one, and that had the hard trolley case.
Right.
And so I'm just going to hold on to it, and then finally went ahead and sold it, and some lady bought it.
What about the Skydio?
Nice.
What's going on with that?
Skydio, he wanted to make those payments, as you know,
right.
And I said no, and I decided I'm going to keep it, and I still haven't opened it. It has, if I do keep it permanently, it has a purpose that I originally bought it.
It shoots some nice video right out of the box. No doctoring of the video necessary. No color correcting or none of this shit. And video looks nice on that thing.
Yeah, it really does. But me having the I still can't make that full justification between having the Mavic Pro 2 with that, other than the cool obstacle avoidance and all that. But
that you're never going to use.
Well, I'll use it once we have some shit on the trees. I'm sick and tired of watching these guys wondering why their crap crashed because they went through a tree that has no leaves,
branches.
Yeah. Or I'm going through and it crashed and hit a wire. Well, hell yeah, it's going to hit a damn wire. It's not. This thing.
That's like flying it into a freaking fence around a basketball court and thinking it's going to stop. It's not going to stop.
People think it's the Titanic of quads, and it's just not. And it's going to hit these things. So if I decide to keep it, it's going to have one purpose, and you'll find out when that time comes.
Wow.
Nice.
So right now, its purpose is if they're shut down and people are really hungry for them and they want to pay a lot of money for it, you've got mine. It's completely sealed, never been opened, nothing broken. I've never even opened the bag because it's still, or the case because it's still sealed.
Right.
I don't want to break that tab.
Yeah, I remember. I'll never forget when I did the unboxing video for my Autel Evo. I actually had that thing for a whole week in the box with the tape on. I wanted to do a stone cold unboxing, but I didn't have time to make the video right away. So I wound up making the video, and everybody knew I had gotten it. It's been for over a week. So then everybody in the comments were, how did you not open that thing? They couldn't understand how I could resist. I said, well, I got 500 other quadcopters sitting over here in this room.
Oh man.
So I really
He sure does.
Mhm.
So I really wasn't worried.
Here's a comment for you. I think this is directed to you.
Here it is. I'm drinking a quart at a time, brother.
In 40
Oh, Brian.
40s Ariel, I would love to I would love to say I could put together a Xeno for you and send it to you, but I'm exhausted with Xenos, really. I mean, the last thing I really want to do is build one and send anybody out. But if I get one that barely needs anything, I'll keep you in mind, and we'll work something out.
Nice.
That was based off my comment to you, Chad, saying that I'll build you and send you one. I definitely do not want to do that.
No. Well, hopefully my
I'll send you the one,
stuff comes in.
but I think you want the Mavic Mini to fly and play with first, so I'll send you.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
I think Chad just wants his Xeno 2 to work.
Yeah.
Did you get a Mavic Mini?
Huh?
Oh, me?
No, Chris.
Yeah.
Did you get a Mavic Mini?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay. I didn't know if you had one or not.
Yeah, subscribe to my channel, Brian.
Okay, I'll get you. What about you, Chad? Do you have a Mavic Mini?
Nah, I'll be borrowing Chris's.
I'm gonna loan him mine.
It's really it really went way beyond my expectations. I mean, I am so surprised at that thing.
All I can say about it is it shoots stunning video, and it's amazing for its little size, but there is still no wow factor in it for me. I could take it or leave it, actually. It's not a must-have that I need to have, but it's definitely a huge interest to everybody out there. And I could have flooded my channel with it, but it never really excited me. So
I just love that thing, man. I just love it.
I know you're putting out a lot of stuff with it.
Yeah.
Holy hell, that is a big Coke.
Yeah, what is that, a liter?
The thing about the Mavic Mini, I can take that thing up and fly it out there as far as it can go. Hell, if it disappears, it's $395. I mean, It's not like I'm doing it to the Mavic Pro or the Evo or them things are $1,000. You know, there's a big difference. So, I mean, when I take that Mini up and send it out, I don't even worry I'm not even the slightest bit nervous about sending that out.
What the hell is this comment? Finger Chris.
Not
Buzz,
sure what that is.
Buzz,
Is that a
what do you
goatee?
Cheers.
Is that a goatee?
Buzz, what do you mean by that? I don't know what he's talking about. A little goatee. Those of you that don't know Donald, that's Buzz.
Oh man.
Well, no, you know Josh, because you were in the fundraising group with him. Okay.
I remember him. Oh, yeah.
He's the one that made the sign behind me in my office back home.
Right.
Okay.
I would like to know what he meant by Finger Chris.
That was funny.
I didn't see any previous comments that invited that one.
You still got 43 people in here.
It's amazing.
There's a lot of people.
We're over 2 hours.
44. Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty good to hold the audience that long.
We've done it 3 times in a row now.
Wow.
Nice.
That's impressive. And
the likes are 38 likes, 1 thumbs down. So Marcus has been here.
Well, I didn't put a like on it yet. Hold on.
Chris, I see 39 right now, actually.
Well, I just hit it.
Oh, 41
Oh, okay.
now I see.
Yeah,
41.
everybody that's in here that has not given a like, I think holding on to people this long, and I'm going to say this long, we still have a lot of the originals in the chat. A lot of people popped in late, but like Pistol Pete was the very first one, and his last comment was just right at 8 o'clock almost, and so he hung on for a long time.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive the past 3 lives. So and I think the 3 of us anyhow are going to try to keep this up. Tonight we just kind of it was a no topic, just wanted to throw out and talk about whatever, and the FIMI X8 SE popped up. And, just kind of took it from there and invited a few people, including you, into the show, and worked out all right.
Go ahead, Chris. Read that little mountain life comment right there.
The last one.
Yeah.
Marcus basically rolled his eyes when Ron gave this live a shout out on his live. Ron did on their live?
Oh,
Oh, he did? Oh, okay.
wow.
I didn't catch
I
that
didn't
one.
see that show.
See,
I was,
that's why I keep saying I love Ron.
Yeah, I watched some of that that thing they were doing. I watched some of it.
I did, but we were getting ready for this show.
They were talking about the same thing you were talking. They pulled the stuff up from they were talking about the FIMI 2020 thing.
Yeah.
And they had that same thing up on the screen that you had up when you were on here earlier.
Yeah, I know what it was.
Yeah. You know, like the release notes or whatever for the new.
Yeah.
They had that.
The comparisons.
Yeah, they had that up on their screen too.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of it, but I was taking a little break from a couple work orders I had, and I just popped in here and watched a few minutes of it. But
Did he really give a shout out to this live though?
Was it this channel or was it QT guy?
You know,
Ron is supportive. I mean, he comments on my videos. I comment on his. We've private messaged each other and keep in touch that way. You know, but I'll have to double check I don't know if I got a shout out. I think Don there might be messing with me. Can't trust Don. Don't trust the guy who lives up in the mountains alone. Well, not alone with his wife and kids, but.
Well, I'll go back. It must have been later on in the broadcast because I was watching it for a little while.
Well, he's swearing on it. So I'll take him on that one. Give me a minute timestamp so I don't have to watch some things.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only watch so much of what we just did.
Right.
And go back and watch the same thing. And it's not only that, there's just too many assumptions and guesses at this point, you know. I totally think they should do the release with a black option or black only option. If you're going to put out something exactly the same, give us something a little different. And they made that black one kind of limited, so why not release this one in black?
Yeah,
right.
They should have held off on that black version until they was able to upgrade it.
Throw us all for a loop and put out all tail orange.
There you go.
Yeah,
that would look cool on that quad.
I sure would.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Brian, but my eyes, us being the older guys here, my line of sight's a lot different than some people. That's why whenever people say something about my line of flight, my line of sight flights, I always say, well, my app said visual. Yeah. My visual was 5 miles, so I flew 5 miles.
Well, whenever somebody says something to me like that in the comments, I always say my spotter said had no trouble seeing it.
Yeah.
That's what I say. They don't know if I have a spotter there.
Yeah.
This is
they don't know if
it's very true.
Behind me.
Well,
right?
at least we don't do like, you know, big YouTubers where they make their big mistakes that you're not expecting them to make. Who was it? Rick that did the spotter driving in the car.
Oh yeah.
That's like,
I didn't see that one.
Why do you do that? That was the stupidest thing. I got my spotter in the car watching the drone while he's driving. I mean, and he's driving over the highway. That was insane.
I gotta see that one.
Oh, he caught a lot of crap for that.
Yeah, but Chris, you know, you get them comments, you know.
Oh,
How do you see that Mavic Mini 4,500 feet away and all this other crap? I just tell my spotters watching it for me. That's all.
Yeah.
They don't know if somebody's behind me or not. They don't know.
It's true.
Yeah.
So
they don't know how far you can see either. So.
Well, that just shuts them up, and it just stops it right there. It's dead in its tracks right there.
So there's the timestamp: 1 hour 10 minutes.
Oh, they went on for a while, didn't they?
Yeah. We'll have to see where they are at 1 hour and 10 minutes versus where we're at it. Where we were at 1 hour and 10 minutes. I am actually very, very impressed and love the chat people we get. I see a good amount of new ones I haven't seen before. It is pretty amazing to hold on to it after this long into it.
It is actually
2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a long time.
And that's
everybody
why
in
I
the chat.
did, and that's where I don't rush to get off. It's not something you're going to see in a search and say, "Ooh, yeah, I got to watch that." Nobody wants to start out knowing they're going to watch 2 hours, but obviously we're doing something somewhat interesting where people are hanging on. Either that, or we're putting them to sleep, and then they're just
Right, they're just falling asleep in their death.
fall asleep
that's funny.
and manage to just keep a finger on the
Right,
keyboard.
they'll be at their desk sleeping. Their wife will walk in and say, "Are you still watching them clowns?"
Yeah. The wife comes in. The wife comes in periodically and hits the keyboard for them.
Right.
Oh, well, I will have to make sure I thank Ron for that. That's very nice. And I do love Ron. And like tonight, the one thing I'm not going to say anything about Marcus, but the one thing I like that Ron does is, and you tell me if you feel this, Brian, do you feel like sometimes he kind of sets Marcus up, or just
No,
kind of
I don't
tries not really set him up, but just tries to rattle him a little bit?
No, I just don't feel that. I've known Ron for a long time, way longer than I know Marcus.
Well, did you ever see the time where they were live and a guy, he put up a comment that the Mavic Mini was too advanced for Marcus? Now, that's normally something that gets deleted on their show. Ron put it up right at the bottom of the screen. And
and the Cryon,
yeah, and then after that, Marcus was like stumbling. He was it just threw him off guard totally. And I was like, and Ron just sat there and he never had a reaction after rewatching it. He was never like, oh. He was just like, okay, click. He didn't. So that's where I always wonder, like, I wonder if he just tries to rattle him a little bit, or I don't know.
I don't know. They're such good friends. I don't think that he would purposely try to do that. Who knows? I mean,
he's got that very dry, light sense of humor that many don't pick up on. So that might be something that he just sometimes does. I don't know. I just found it funny, and there's a few times where I see certain things where I find funny like that. And that's one thing I really love about Ron is his sense of humor. He's got that very dry sense of humor that a lot of people they don't pick up on a lot of the things he says.
What are you looking at, Josh?
Oh, just taking care of some business here in the chat.
Okay.
That's all.
We should.
I had to double check on something real quick. That's all. Sorry about that.
We should probably.
Oh, I know what you did. Okay. Okay. I gotta look at it now.
It's
Oh, you did you go to the timestamp? What did I miss?
there was just a certain something in the chat that needs taken care of.
Okay.
You guys should all be able to see.
Just go up about 6 from the bottom.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had to investigate first because I wanted to know something about it.
Was it an official or unofficial?
It was unofficial.
Okay. Well, that one there was harmless.
It was.
The one that I told you about last week, that's where you crossed the line. I mean,
oh yeah. And I'm ashamed and I apologize that I didn't see that or catch that one.
It's fine. It's fine. It has to happen sooner or later, so.
It does.
But as I was saying when that was taking place, we should probably wrap up.
Oh yeah, so real quick, I just watched that portion of the video, and yeah, they were signing off, and Ron did actually promote this show at 6 o'clock.
Awesome.
So
wow,
that was nice.
I will make sure I message him and thank him for that.
Mm-hmm.
And that just tells us we got to give this a name and a channel of its own, maybe. Either that or we'll just bounce it off each other's channels. That's probably the best thing to do is if we continue doing this, we can bounce it off each other's channels.
Yeah, I think that'll be great.
Like you hold it one time, Josh hold it one time.
Mm-hmm.
Not a problem at all.
Definitely.
Okay.
And now the people, now you two guys there, like if Chad has it on his channel, then you're going to have to do a little promotion 10-second video, and you're going to have to do one on your channel. Because that's what I used to do when I was on that Coast to Coast drone show a long time ago. I used to go on there and I would put up a little 10-second promo video on my YouTube channel so the people that were my subscribers would know to go there, because Bill at that time hardly had any subscribers.
Oh,
So nobody would know
gotcha.
that was even happening, you know.
Mhm.
So I would put up a little 10-second video on my channel like the day before and say, oh, tomorrow night over at this channel, you know, I'm going to be here, you know, because Chris, all your followers, you know, they're not going to know you're going to be over at Chad's channel unless you Facebook it somehow, put up a picture or something like that, you know. So, because I know you got a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers, so they would probably want to come over there to Chad's channel and see you over there. So,
Yeah.
and just a thought, you know, you should do
No,
that.
that's totally true.
You're going to rotate the show. You need to do that. you know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I'm just going to throw this out there real quick. I am now at 396 subs, which I think is amazing. Back when I first started this, I never thought I'd even get 100, but I think it's great. But my goal, because at the beginning of the day today was 390. When I woke up this morning, it's at 390. And I was just looking, I was thinking, oh man, I'd love to be at 400 by the end of the day today. That'd be huge. And 396, that's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm impressed.
Those of you who are still in here and watching, which is 38, I think. Make sure you subscribe to Josh, and as always, these channels links are going to be here in the video, in the description, and in the pinned comment.
Yeah, we got to pin Josh over 400. We got to get Josh over 400. So
let's do it.
Support him.
And Chad's on a nice steady.
And then next week he'll be saying the same thing. Hey man, I'm at 496, man.
I know.
He's 4 more. Yeah.
Should we just
get 4 more?
Yeah.
Should we just do a live show? Get Josh 600.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That wanting that never ends. You know, the more you get, the more you want. You know, that's just human nature. You know, that's just human nature. So that's never going to end. You could be doing this. You could be doing this show 5 years from now, and you'll be on here. Well, I'm at 17.5, but man, I need a couple more to get to that 18.
I would love to get to 10,000, but I don't check my subscriber count at this level like I used to. Like, I really want to get to 10,000, but everything before 5,000 was always checking. After 5,000, I just, you notice it, and you do look at it, you do look for it, but I wasn't like checking it on a daily basis.
I don't like even pay attention to it. I just pay attention. I get the emails when people subscribe. That's how I know people are subscribing, is by that. I actually don't even look at that little number up in the corner of my home. I don't even pay attention to it.
I hardly even look at that email address. So,
well, like TubeBuddy is my buddy. I got it on my phone and everything. I'm always checking. I'm like refreshing like every maybe hour or something. Like, okay. So
have you guys seen that little counter, that little digital counter that you can buy? That's apparently, I guess, and I could be wrong. It's like a live counter, but it's like $200. And just to have a live counter in the background for $200, I'm like, I don't know about that.
And
I mean, it does other stuff too, but I'd only use it for the counter.
I don't want to remind people that much that they've been here for 2 hours.
Almost 2.5, Chris.
Yeah.
2 hours and 23 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like 8:30. It's like 2 hours past my bedtime.
It's like Friday, Brian.
Oh yeah.
Because like the last 2 lives, I did one with just me and Chad. That 923 views on that one. But he and I held this type of audience throughout the whole video on that one. That was 2 hours and 12 minutes. And then the Mavic giveaway, 881 views, same thing, held everybody. You announced the winner and still held everybody on that one.
Well, I looked around on a replay on that video yesterday to try to find out who the winner was, but I never could figure out who won the damn thing. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing. I skimmed through it trying to find, because you were talking about that guy at the beginning, you know, that whole
thing. Could have saved you some trouble. I could have just told you, look at the first comment or the description of the video. That's where it says winner.
But it came up in my little recommended thing, and I said, oh yeah, that giveaway. I didn't know that video was like 5 days old. I just looked at it this morning. Right after I posted my video, I looked at that because it was up in my recommended thing. I didn't know it was 5 days old.
Yeah, so you're in the same boat as me. I don't get any recommendations for your videos as far as a notice. They only come up in my recommendations like that one came up for you.
Yeah, it comes up in that right corner.
I get an alert for you. I get an alert for Chad. I get an alert for Josh. But there's so many channels I do not get alerts to, and I don't know if I've just subscribed to too many or what. But
I don't think it's that. I actually know this is the way this works. It all depends on your view pattern of what is going to pop up there. You know what I mean? It's only going to recommend you to watch stuff that it knows you like to watch.
I'm talking about getting the actual alerts when you click the bell and click all, and it's still not giving me your video.
Right, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
That's where I wonder if I'm just screwing the system up by clicking that on too many. It's like, well, we can't keep up with your requests, sir. So
that's a possibility too. Sometimes you just got to reset all that crap, and the way you do that is you have to unsubscribe somebody for an hour and then resubscribe them and hit the bell again. And that'll reset that algorithm of what you're talking about.
Okay.
But you have to unsubscribe. You can't just go unsubscribe and then hit the subscribe. That's not going to reset the algorithm. Right. You have to do it for a minimum of 1 hour.
Okay.
So, but it does work, because I've told many people in live chats about it, and they came back and told me, yes, that works. Another thing with you, Chris, you're getting ready to hit that 10,000. Once you hit that 10,000, that changes the YouTube algorithm too.
Yeah.
That puts you on that next level of promotion by YouTube.
Right.
So that's what you want. You want to get to that 10,000.
Exactly. Let's just say goodbye to everybody in the chat and go ahead and just get off live here. And we can
Hi, Greg.
We can ramble on about anything.
Big studio. Thanks for coming in, David.
Yeah, everybody look over at everybody in the chat.
Thanks for stopping by.
Say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for everybody that came and supported.
Oh, I'm facing the wrong way.
Where we go? Which way are we facing?
Yeah, there you go.
I just want to say I got to 401.
Oh, nice.
Did you?
Yep.
No,
401.
Hey, Chris, he'll wake up tomorrow morning. He'll wake up tomorrow morning. It'll be 382.
Everybody's effing with you.
Is there,
unsubscribe.
Shows up, unsubscribe.
Is there 350 people here? Because my goal is 1,000 by tomorrow. Is that no? But
401.
Yeah. Congrats to Josh on his 401, and
thank you guys.
Thanks for everybody for coming out tonight. It was a blast. I had fun, and go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button for everybody. Hit that like button, and also hit that notification bell and hit all so you can get all the notifications and you know the next time we go live. All right, that's my take.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Brian. And as always, wonderful to talk to you. And this time I'm glad I did it live.
Yay.
With you camera to camera instead of me in the chat while you're on a live or vice versa. But I'm going to go ahead and just say goodbye, and I'll let Josh close out totally. I just first want to say thank you, everybody, of course, for watching. Sticking with us for over 2 hours. I'm sure my mom and everybody is frustrated with me for being down here in the basement that long, but as long as I see you guys hang on and interacting in the chat, I'm gonna keep it going. And we did that tonight, and you guys are awesome. So thanks for subscribing to these guys, and I'm going to put their links down below. And everybody, please stay safe. Wash your damn hands. Stay inside if you don't have to go out. Sanitize. Quit picking your nose and all that other disgusting stuff that you do. But in all seriousness, God bless everybody. I hope everybody stays healthy, and hope all this shit gets back to normal someday very soon, and we get our lives back. So thank you guys very much, and I'll just say peace and leave it on to Josh.
Well, guys, I really want to thank everybody, specifically in the chat here. It really was a great chat. A lot of people, a lot of questions, a lot of feedback, a lot of people coming in and out, which I think was really good too. Want to thank all you guys here in the panel. This was awesome. This was a lot of fun. We had some great conversation for sure. And again, I really want to thank everybody who got me over that 400 mark. That was awesome. That was really, really cool. I didn't think that would ever happen. Again, even back when I first started this, I never thought that I'd get over 100, which I thought would be incredible. But I really do appreciate that. Make sure you guys check out everybody's channel.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where everybody is here. Everybody's channel. Chris, Brian, and Chad. Everybody, make sure you subscribe to everybody and like all of our videos.
So yeah, like them all,
or dislike, whatever it is.
Chad. Am I looking in the right direction for Chad?
Are you looking the right? Yeah, I don't even know where to look. There you go.
It's tough sometimes.
Tell them if they
our videos are.
If they don't like the videos, make sure they hit the unlike button twice. Okay, that's what you tell them.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
I got that from somebody else. I'm not going to claim that. So I got that from somebody else. So
just do a double dislike. There you go. But in all seriousness, I hope everybody stays safe for real. These are definitely some different times for sure. Everything's a lot different nowadays. But try to stay as normal as possible. If you can go out and fly in your backyard, whatever, go fly. Do what you got to do, but just stay safe.
Yep.
And that's the biggest part, is just stay safe. But still try to have fun. Life is normal. Life's going to go on from this. It will, for sure. We're all going to be hopefully okay. And I greatly appreciate everybody's time and comments. It's very much appreciated. So thanks again.
All right. Good night, everybody. Peace.
Good night.